I was pleasantly surprised to see the Assassin's Creed Mirage gameplay trailer during the PlayStation Showcase, and it looks pretty great. I think it's all about expectations. If you did not know that this was an Assassin's Creed Valhalla DLC they turned into a full game, they might feel that it looks very similar compared to previous titles, but I'm just really looking forward to having new Assassin's Creed content to play. It's also at a lower price, so I'm happy that it looks more fleshed out than the Valhalla expansion that I expected. And I get it, it's especially the parkour that for a game going back to its roots still looks a lot like Origins, where we of course already had the corner swing. Now they are adding the pole vault, which I think is cool, to cross wide gaps, and there are some other important changes. For one, they made Basim faster, so it just feels a bit more fluid, and while there was an option to, for example, vault over these straw fences in Origins, or in Valhalla you could use it sometimes to get over objects that were blocking your path, while in Mirage it feels more like a feature. They put these objects on rooftops with parkour in mind, and that's overall I think the biggest change. In the RPG games, parkour was just an easy way to traverse the world, but in Mirage it feels more like a part of the core gameplay. So even though parkour is quite similar, I still think it will feel more natural to move through Baghdad, as it's really made with the movement in mind, just like the older titles. And then Baghdad looks stunning, with that riding towards what seems like the main gate really taking me back to entering Jerusalem for the first time in Assassin's Creed 1. I'm, by the way, still holding my fingers crossed that we get a remake one day. And of course, cool to see that the camels from Origins are making a return in Mirage next to the horses we can ride, with the deluxe edition including the sand skins for our horse and bird inspired by Prince of Persia, of course. And I really feel that a bird was not necessary in Mirage, but he's still here, called Enkidu. He will not help us in combat this time, but we can still use it to scan the environment. The twist is though, as you might know, that there will be archers who we see here on the rooftops as well, that will shoot at the bird when we get too close, so then he will fly away and we lose control, meaning that we will have to take out the archers first before we can use the bird again. But overall, the biggest difference compared to the recent RPG games is that Basim is not as strong as Eivor or Bayek, so will die quickly when surrounded by many enemies. And this means that we should be pushed to use our tools like the smoke bomb and the throwing knife that we all saw in action more often, while we could of course easily face everyone head on in Origins or Valhalla. When we do decide to fight, the combat should feel similar, so we don't have the counter-based fights from the Ezio trilogy for example, but the more action hit-based combat that started with Origins. Basim does have completely new animations. I think we see him use the fast light attack combo with the sword and dagger here, and a quick charge up for some nice slashes in maybe the heavy attack combo. It seems quite different. I like what I'm seeing here, and this footage is by the way to demonstrate the sand sword and the dagger of time that are also included in the deluxe edition. You also get the sand outfit and an outfit dye, which makes me hopeful that there are more color options we can unlock for the different outfits in the game. But this hourglass of time is the most interesting addition to me, as it seems to be some sort of trinket that we can wear on our outfit, like an extra cosmetic option that we did not see before. So maybe there's like a different slot in our inventory menu for items like that, and that there are more of these trinkets that we can find to further customize Basim. We do already know though that the outfits are purely cosmetic, so it won't have any stats. And I'm by the way giving away the deluxe edition of Mirage. You can enter via the link in the pinned comments, and you will have to like the video and subscribe in order to participate. I'll be reaching out to the winner just before the October 12th release date, so good luck with that. Now I am a bit worried that only having the sword and dagger weapon combo will mean that melee combat will get old pretty fast, although maybe because we will want to avoid conflict as much as possible, it won't be that big of an issue. And while the outfits are purely cosmetic, there will be different swords and daggers to find that should have perks to enhance our gameplay. We also see that the counter roll from Valhalla is back, which I really like, and there are some cool new finishers that likely differ per enemy type, but because we only have the sword and dagger, I hope there are multiple finishers for every enemy, because otherwise we're looking at the same animation over and over again. Now we also see Basim perform a kick to push a guard off the edge, so I'm curious how that will work, as it was of course an ability in the RPG games, but there should not be an ability wheel in Mirage. And brand new is the Assassin's Focus that let us perform multiple stealth kills in quick succession. It will not be something we have from the start, but that will improve over the course of the game, which likely also means that we can first only chain to 2 targets, then to 3, and maybe even to 4 near the end. We also see a brand new character, Vlad. He's a mentor who we also find in the bureau in Baghdad next to Russian, who we of course already saw in the reveal cinematic and was also narrating this new gameplay trailer. So I say brand new, but we actually knew about Vlad already, as he was mentioned in one of the letters to Hytem that we can read in the Hidden Ones bureau in our settlement in Valhalla. Here it was noted that he will host the next council in the newly constructed fortress Alamut that is still being worked on during Mirage, as Mirage of course takes place many years before Valhalla. But yeah, he will be an important character for Basim in his journey to become a hidden one, and he's likely briefing us here before we go on a black box mission that we of course know from the previous games and most recently the Siege of Paris DLC. It's of course a fancy word for a mission where you have multiple ways to get to a target and to also take out that target. Like this rope kill really reminds me of some of the cutscenes that we saw in Siege of Paris as well when performing that target kill. But before we get into that situation, we will have to find info on the enemy by sneaking and stealing stuff. I like how we actually see Basim grab something, which is great. Maybe that key can then be used to open treasure rooms. Maybe we cannot meditate, by the way, anywhere in this world, but have to find these benches instead to change the time of day, which then might enable new opportunities. Like, I'm curious how much variety there actually is, because the black box missions in the Siege of Paris DLC did not offer much freedom at all, with things mostly ending up the same way. Like, I hope we get a good demonstration of this during the Ubisoft Forward stream on June 12th, like a real gameplay demo that also shows multiple ways to do the same mission. There at least does not seem to be a replay mission feature planned or New Game Plus, so it seems like replaying the game will be the only way to see other ways to approach a mission. And there at least seem to be 4 of these big black box missions, with every one of the 4 districts in Mirage having 1 target to kill. The map size should be comparable to Paris in Unity and London in Syndicate, according to recent leaks from French YouTuber Jonathan. And a lot of his info has actually been confirmed by this gameplay video. He also shared a drawing of the map where we all see that pretty sizable desert we can explore outside of Baghdad. We start at the top left in a small city and then get recruited by the Hidden Ones and go to their settlement, after which we can go to Baghdad. The leak also talks about a sort of wanted system with multiple levels that will change how the world reacts to you. Like, there's still quite a lot we haven't seen in action yet, including the type of side activities we can expect. Sure, it's going to be a smaller game, but I still think we're looking at like a 20-hour package or something, so I'm really curious to learn more. Drop in the comments what you thought of the Mirage gameplay trailer, and of course subscribe if you haven't already for way more on the game. Again, June 12th is when we will likely see more. I will keep you posted here. A like on the video would also be awesome, and if you want, you can watch our live reaction to the gameplay trailer by clicking on the screen. I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.